In short, my job is providing help to the patients who have difficulty conceiving. We help do tests, conduct thorough diagnostic tests, understand the reason behind a problem, decide how to cure it, and finally, help a woman get pregnant. Then we provide help to a woman when she's expecting, and in the end, she gives birth to a healthy child. You realize that you're involved in this miracle because you were able to consider a lot of important things, give hope to these patients, help them believe in their dream, and finally, their dream come true. Our work demands a unique approach because all the cases are different from each other. I've chosen gynecology because I believe that only gynecology deals with a case and produces result. It's very difficult to me to do some actions which are aimed at lasting results since I want an immediate one. However, IVF has changed everything in such a way that sometimes we need to struggle for months or years to get the result.
Often we, specialists in reproductive technologies or reproductive medicine, are thought to be ones who interfere in human nature and try to perform God's duty. However, I'm positive it's a wrong opinion. Perhaps God allows the progress of humanity and science as well. I always say that we do only what present-day science can achieve today.
Probably I got interested in reproductive medicine because it's considered the highest level of obstetrics and gynecology nowadays.
It involves the newest technologies, provides an opportunity to keep learning all the time and find new information.
While gynecology remains the same, it was 50 years ago, reproductive medicine changes constantly, every half a year to be exact. Our brain transforms because if a fertility doctor doesn't go to another conference, they won't find out new information and will keep using old methods, which can't be applied to the sphere any longer. The abilities we demonstrate in genetics and those we acquire using new schemes help provide opportunities to the patients to whom we said no yesterday. We can say yes to them today. I think I'm influenced by the constant movement and ability to study since I'm very inquisitive. I'm really interested in new information which nobody knows about yet. Sometimes both a man and a woman have no problems. Her tubes are penetrable, his sperm quality is good, and although ovulation occurs, a woman can get pregnant for 5 years. Why does it happen? Then you start investigating it properly and find out about her psychology.
You ask her about her mother's pregnancy, what problems she had, and how it's been happening since her childhood.
It's very strange and suspicious when a patient comes to ask a doctor what she can do to get pregnant, and first of all, they send her to have IVF treatment. If it happens, you should run away from such a fertility doctor. A reproductive endocrinologist is supposed to offer at least 1 or 2 options so that a patient could consider them and make a choice. There are reasons besides financial ones why not everyone is ready for IVF. Some people can be unprepared due to moral, social, or physical issues. Thus, I think that a patient should have an opportunity to decide herself what way she can choose now or later. Thus, a reproductive endocrinologist is not an IVF doctor. A reproductive endocrinologist is able to define your reproductive abilities. We visited so many doctors in Almaty that I didn't want to go to any others. I said, that's all, I'm going to rely on this doctor. I know that this doctor has helped other women to become mothers. Thus, I either rely on her or nobody else. At the 7th attempt, we managed to have our child.
I've stopped keeping statistics, but roughly speaking, since I've been helping married couples to solve infertility problems for 20 years, I think there can be over 5,000 children. You know, it isn't just my work, but the work of my colleagues and my team, so I can't attribute these children only to myself. They belong to the whole team. They're not only my children, they're ours.
Doctors have a postulate which prohibits them from crossing the line and making friends with their patients. I break this rule after we finish work and the patients achieve results and give birth. I have a lot of friends among my patients. You're overwhelmed with deep emotion when you see the result of your work, your creation. You did it. Your team worked on it, and as a result, a mother or father holds their healthy baby. Yes, there's certainly a relation between us.
You can call her anytime and ask her a consult on any question.
Sometimes I'm surprised how devoted she is to this work. She really has a God-given talent as a doctor.
The first successful assisted reproductive technology attempt was made in 1978 in the UK. This year, humanity celebrates the 40th anniversary of the first test to baby's birth. It was Louise Brown, and she was born on July the 25th. We can say that great progress has been achieved since then. Reproductive medicine can help people who became infertile due to some illness or have marriage problems, which prevent them from having children. Reproductive medicine can solve these problems now.
I want to tell you what surprised me a lot recently. We think that it's very difficult for a woman to get pregnant using her own cells after she turns 45, so we give her little chance. A year ago, a 47-year-old patient visited us. It was impossible for her to get pregnant naturally. When she turned 47, she came to us and said she wanted to have another baby. We understood that it was quite difficult to get pregnant and carry a baby having 4 C-section scars. Natural conception was impossible due to tubal ligation, and her only option was IVF.
However, who could agree to transfer an embryo to a woman having 4 C-section scars?
There are no contraindications based on the number of C-sections preventing you from providing IVF or giving birth. Thus, we didn't break the law. However, I know that practically all the centers don't provide IVF to women who had 3 C-sections but offer surrogacy instead. Another case was even more complicated. A 47-year-old woman wanted to get pregnant using her own cells. We agreed to provide IVF treatment, got an embryo, transferred it, and although the patient got pregnant, it ended in non-developing pregnancy. It was surprising that she didn't despair and ask for another attempt.
We had agreed to either 1 or 2 IVF cycles, but not more, because we believed that the possibility of bringing such an attempt into effect would be minus 0.1%.
We considered it a miracle. We started the second attempt, got another embryo, transferred only 1 embryo, she got pregnant, and pregnancy test proved it. An ultrasound scan revealed that at 3 weeks everything was okay. At 5 weeks the heartbeat was heard. At 38 weeks she gave birth to a boy, healthy boy by C-section. It was a miracle, which gave me an opportunity to change my consciousness completely. How can we refuse to provide IVF treatment to a 47-year-old patient who wants to use her own cells only because all the statistical facts are against her?
Shulpan Kenesovna is a unique person. In my opinion, she's one of the best reproductive endocrinologists in the world. I know a lot of leading specialists. This person is devoted to her patients. This person spends every day achieving improvements in her work. This person is not satisfied with her success and keeps setting herself new aims. I think she's a pearl of Kazakhstan's medicine, and not only Kazakhstan's.
It's frightening when you think you do your work correctly but keep failing to achieve results. You start thinking, what else can you offer? Maybe ask, would you like to go to another clinic, probably the best clinic in the world? Then you realize that there are no world's best clinics because patients came to you from Israel after having 11 IVF cycles in the best clinics. Patients from St. Petersburg and Moscow came to you too. You understand that such a clinic doesn't exist. You remain with this patient and have to try to achieve a success with her. I told my husband, that's enough. It was the 7th attempt. I don't want it anymore. Actually, taking hormonal medicine led to certain consequences. We decided the 7th attempt would be the last one. God gave us the child.
Of course, it's my happiness. I am crying. Quite often, I let myself shed tears, which weren't always caused by negative results. I cried about positive results too, or because I felt desperate.
Sometimes you just don't know what else can you do and realize that there should be a positive result. You believe that you'll achieve success. However, sometimes after you did your best, you cry with despair and ask yourself why, despite your best efforts, it didn't work out. We regard 60% success almost as 100%, and it pains you when you can't achieve it. Yes, sometimes I cried.
She supports you, she can scold you or pity you.
She cries and worries together with you.
Both our colleagues and patients say that our job is great and we are happy people because we present a child to parents and bring them happiness. Of course, you can't argue with them, but I keep reminding my colleagues that on average, world's assisted reproductive technology success rate fluctuates between 30 and 45 to 50%. It means we should meet patients whose IVF attempt was unsuccessful more often. Probably this meeting is the most difficult for the parents who had a financial loss of morale, and worst of all, whose hopes were destroyed. A doctor's main task is to share their pain, and doctors really do it.
People say that I'm quite a strict doctor. Probably they mean that we immediately start talking at a conscious level. For example, some patients visit me and say, I don't want to lose my figure, so I need a surrogate mother's help. After that, I start convincing her that it's totally wrong and say, how can you, a healthy woman, make such a decision? I don't want to play these games. You'll have to find another doctor because I need sound reasons. It's insane. In my opinion, it's insane. Of course, if a patient can give you convincing reasons, you approve of her decision, support her, and then work with her. However, there are more patients who come because they want IVF procedure, but their husband is against it because his friends find this procedure unnatural and say that embryos will be confused.
Супруг не хочет, потому что его друзья сказали, что это неправильно, что там перепутают эмбрион.
Their mother-in-law says that her relative has gone through 25 IVF cycles. Their main aim is to make you pay, and the first IVF cycle won't be successful. In this case, you need to work in a different way. You should talk to this patient's husband and mother-in-law and explain the situation to them. Nobody forces anyone to go through IVF. We help overcome fears at professional level. As a rule, we succeed in it if a woman realizes that she needs to understand it.
Over 6 million children all over the world were born thanks to IVF. They're adults now and even have their own children.
Я хочу сказать, что
I want to say that since I work in the sphere, I got interested in psychology, which helped me be a better mother. I started appreciating it a lot 5 or 6 years ago, so I've done it for a long time. I'm deeply thankful that I got this experience thanks to my patients. Since I'm experienced in psychology, I think I can say that I'm a successful mother. I have 2 wonderful children. If I had an opportunity to have more children, I think I'd enjoy having more children and being a good mother to them. Although it was quite difficult to raise these children, I believe that if a woman wants to be a mother, she will be. If she wants to be a good mother, she will be too. There is a difference between a mother and a good mother. I understand it very well because when people come and say they want to have a child, I ask them, why? When you start asking all these psychological questions, women get puzzled. They don't really understand why.
да, мы хотим иметь ребенка. Зачем? Когда начинаешь задавать вот эти психологические вопросы, женщины теряются.
Of course, they want one for their husband to stay with them and for their parents to tell them that she has been married for 3 years and now has a child. However, she hasn't become a real mother yet. Probably, she'll be a real mother when she gives birth and devote herself to the child. A real mother is always with her children, and she doesn't hurry to work 40 days after her child was born. It's great to have a job which is here. It's great to have children who are here. They must be equal without any imbalance. Now I'm very happy that I managed to balance them.
День нет проседаний. Сейчас я очень рада, что я смогла это выровнять.